Hello there, my name is Jason Perkins. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of my Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. I'm a workers' compensation attorney, and I created this series of videos because I want to provide people who've been hurt at work with helpful information about Georgia's workers' compensation law and the benefits they should receive under it. Today I want to talk to you about a question I get asked sometimes, and that is whether there's an obligation to look for a job when you're receiving workers' compensation benefits. Under Georgia law, the basic answer to that question is no. There's no requirement under the law that you look for work while you're receiving workers' compensation benefits. Now, other states could have different rules. So if you have a workers' compensation claim in another state, it's important to check about that. But under Georgia's law, you're not required to look for work. There could be several reasons that you didn't want to find a different job. One reason is that you might be perfectly happy with the employer that you're currently working for. You might have benefits or retirement or something else, and you don't want to change jobs to a different employer. Another reason is that changing jobs can complicate your workers' compensation case. Because of how Georgia's workers' compensation laws have been interpreted, often if you were to go to another job and start doing it, it may interfere with your ability to receive medical treatment or other workers' compensation benefits. So that could be another reason that you didn't want to look for a job while you are receiving workers' compensation benefits. Now, there are some situations under Georgia's law where you are probably going to need to look for a job. The most common situation where that comes up is when you need to prove that you're entitled to workers' compensation benefits for being out of work after your employer terminates your employment for some reason. So if you've returned to work and then your employer fires you or lays you off, you may need to do what's called a good faith job search. And the reason that this can be important is because it can be a way to prove your entitlement to weekly workers' compensation benefits for being out of work after you've been terminated by your employer. It basically provides proof of that your loss of earning capacity is being caused by your workers' compensation injury if your doctor says you're able to do some sort of light duty work. Now, if you find yourself in this situation, I think it's very important to reach out to a workers' compensation attorney. The reason why is because the law is very complicated. A job search is one way of proving endowment benefits in these situations, but there's other ways to prove it as well. And which way can be best would be determined by the specific facts of your case. Another reason is if you're going to prove a job search case and try to prove entitlement to wage loss benefits in these situations, you're almost certainly going to have to go to court. If you're going to have to go to court in a workers' compensation case, I certainly would recommend having an attorney representing you. Although the law doesn't require it, there are very specific rules in workers' compensation court in order to make sure your evidence is presented in front of the judge and admitted into evidence. You have to follow these rules. If you don't, you're not going to prove your case. So having an attorney on your side to help you out with that can be very important. I hope you found this information about whether Georgia workers' compensation law requires you to look for work helpful. If you have, please let me know that. The best way you can do that is by liking this video or giving it a thumbs up. If you've got other questions about workers' compensation, I'd encourage you to reach out to me and schedule a free consultation about your workers' compensation case. There's two easy ways that you can set that consultation up. The first is by calling the phone number at the bottom of the screen. The other is by reaching out to us to our website, which is www.perkinslawtalk.com. Click on and submit the free consultation request form, and a member of our workers' compensation team will reach out to you and get that consultation scheduled. I'd like to thank you again for watching this video today. I want to wish you the best of luck as you recover from your injuries.